this was your first project in a while, outside of just dropping like the fire singles here and
Hmm.
there. What was the thought process behind that? And do you plan on waiting a while before you drop another project, or is it
No,
going
we
to be?
probably have a project by the end of the year, but I don't want to say it's a project. I think this one's more of a soundtrack, but yeah, we'll have that by the end of the year. I'm not really a fan of projects anymore. Like I like to work in concept. So when I'm probably working on a project and then thinking about releasing them all as individual pieces, just because I feel like people don't respect projects no more, and
Hmm.
people don't attention spans are way too short. People don't really get to. It's okay. Attention spans are not short. Okay, so what's happening is we are in a playlisting era.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't really listen to album from top to bottom. We kind of pick the songs that we like on the album and we involve them inside of our playlist.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not what an album is meant to do. You know what
Not at
I'm saying?
all.
It's not what an album is meant to do. But that just come from. I mean, like that also is so tied in with my feelings towards streaming and like streaming services in general. I don't fuck with them.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't think it's fair to the artist. I don't think it's fair to the fans, really, to be honest. But that's
Yeah.
just the era we in. So I like the individual thing because as a creative, um I get the opportunity to like allow that one thing to have a full lifespan, like
Hmm.
a full life. It gets to live like from its birth, the rollout, the how I want the people to feel about this, the videos, the content, the da 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 da. I get to
Yeah.
give it a whole lifespan, and people get to pay attention to it for what it is, individually. And then when it's tied in with something else, you can see why they neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
oh, you can see why they live in the same neighborhood because they, you know,
Right. So you feel like basically if it's within the album, one, they don't have the attention span per se.
mhm,
Is more nuanced than that, how you explain, but
yeah,
they don't have the attention span to listen to the full album and appreciate it. But also, you kind of feel like it's hidden on the album, and if it's just a single,
yeah,
it gets more light and it gets more plays, it gets more room to kind of breathe.
yeah, for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna speak for the people who are out there watching, like me.
Yeah,
We still love albums. we
yeah.
still love albums.
What's the last album you listened to completely, like from top to bottom?
Well, this morning I listened to Views from top to bottom.
Oh,
That's
that's
a
fire.
very cliche answer.
No, it's not, bro. Don't let these niggas Drake you out, bro. Like, don't let them niggas do that to you, bro. Don't let them
Yeah,
do that to you, bro. We fans of Drake,
yeah. I'm
bro.
about to say I still love Drake, and I listened to Views this morning. So if you mad at that, be mad at yourself.
Nah, for real, man.
I still listen to Donda from start to finish.
Oh, that's
The
sad.
first Donda.
Yeah.
But I still love albums because I like to. I've always been a real big music nerd. I've always really loved music.
Mhm.
But I've never been the greatest at like DJing the kickback or like
Yeah.
or I'm not the ox
You're not the
god
ox
for real
guy.
like
Me
that.
neither. I'm not the ox
I'm
guy.
not the ox god because when I'm listening to music, I listen to the full album start to finish.
For sure.
So I make playlists now. Go check out the playlist, link in bio. Um, shameless plug.
Nothing shameless about it.
Right, not at all. Look, if I can't plug myself on my own platform, what we
Nah,
doing?
for real. You know what I'm saying?
So I make playlists now with up and coming artists, and they fire. Um, but usually when I'm just listening to music for the most of my life, it definitely is an album from start to finish.
For
So
sure.
when I'm doing my research now and I'm looking at artists, that's something that I'm looking for. Like, okay, what's their best album?
Yeah.
Okay, how long is this album? Okay, what was the concept behind it? What was the
Mhm.
theme? And you had a theme for this one. It was a short album, but it wasn't no skips, nothing wasted.
Yeah.
It was short and sweet. It had the nice interludes in between it. So I thought it was a good project, regardless of how we classify project, EP, album,
Yeah,
all
for
that
sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a good body of work
I appreciate
to
that.
me.
I appreciate it.
Um, and I just want to promote all the others me's like me and
Nah,
say
for
that we
sure.
like albums as well. So
No, for sure.
we
I'm
don't
a
want you
I'm an
to.
album guy too. So I feel
Okay.
you. Yeah, I listen to Dejan's album absolutely over and over and
Yeah.
over again. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the last album that I just listened to was um What was the last album I listened to? It was like
Who,
some Brazilian jazz, probably.
who's your top 3 artists?
Right now,
Yeah.
or of all time? Which one we talking about? Like,
Of all, let's say of all time, because
oh,
I just want to get a sense of.
Drake is there.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna say James Blake,
Mm.
and I'm gonna say uh Lauren Hill.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. We can see. All right.
yeah,
So to say those answers, I'm gonna need that soul to come back. I'm gonna need that
yeah,
depth to come back. Because when you talking about James Blake, his
yeah.
melodies, I mean, God.
Man, that's my guy, man.
Whew. Yeah, I can't get a. I'm late on James Blake. I didn't get into him until like maybe last year, or the year before. But
Ooh, you missed a lot. Well, I'm pretty. You
oh no,
haven't got.
I
You
went
went
back.
back.
I went back. I went back. Shout out to technology. We got it
Nah,
all
for
right
real.
here in the phone. So I
Nah, for
definitely went
real.
back. Going back to your music, your latest single, "Eyewitness."
Hmm.
I feel like it shows two different sides of you. Like it has kind of the more street bravado that you were saying, but
Hmm.
also the lover boy.
Yeah.
Um, how do you feel about that song? How's it been received? And I guess what I really want to know is that something you want to kind of continue doing going forward as far as showing all sides of yourself on a body of work, or do you want to kind of separate it like these are my love songs? Here's a body of work with the love songs or
Yeah.
slow songs. Here's the rap. Like,
Yeah.
how do
No.
you see yourself going forward?
My goal is to get with some producers that will kind of guide me with that, bro. Because I
Mm,
always have a hard time just making decisions on my own. Because, like I said, I'm a conceptual person, so a lot of times it be separated, and it don't need to be all the time.
yeah.
Like, um, I don't know. I don't know what I will do, but I know this next project is this next project, which I'm classifying as a soundtrack,
Okay.
because I have a goal to um for the main attraction to be the art exhibit that goes along with it,
Mm.
and then the music to be what you hear throughout the art exhibit.
Is it gonna be an actual art exhibit
Yeah, it's gonna
like
be.
that you can walk around and see?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
want it to be very tangible. I want everything to be very tangible. Now, my goal is to try to eventually step away from streaming platforms and allow myself to be just super independent and, like,
Yeah.
you know, um,
Are you independent right now?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I've been independent for like 3-4 years now.
Okay.
Always wait, let's not lie. I always been independent, but I
Hmm.
have done partnerships with labels before. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And how do you like being independent versus having those
The
kind of partnerships?
um, I I like partnerships. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not one of those people who just be on like super against labels. I enjoy partnerships. I enjoy working with people. I enjoy them putting teams around me and allowing me to be like um kind of like just a yes or nowhere. I
Hmm.
do enjoy that, but it's something about like touching everything. You know what I'm saying? Being able to touch every part of your whatever you're working on,
Hmm.
and that's what. And just having all the money
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
making all the decisions with the money, because I think that a label will spend a lot of unnecessary money in a lot of unnecessary spaces. You know what I'm saying? Like, or unnecessary money. It's just that people charge labels more than they
Okay.
charge an individual.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So if
I can
like
see that.
so if I was going in to get some PR work done, they'll probably charge me 2,500 a month or like 1,500 a month. But
Hmm.
they gonna charge the label 3,500 a month, 5,000 a month.
Right. Just
You
because
know
they
what I'm
know they
saying?
got it.
You got it. You
Right.
feel me? So it's like I'd rather do it. I think I would rather be independent, but I'm not against having a team for
Yeah.
sure, bro.
Yeah.
Because this independent, as much as people crown it, and like this is not easy.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to do everything.
Right.
As
Yeah, you're wearing a lot of hats
yeah,
when you're doing the business side of it
yeah.
and the music and creating and marketing, and I can definitely see how it can get a lot. Has the business side of music, has that ever made you question your decision to be an artist?
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'll be ready to turn it all in. You feel me? I don't know, bro. I get sad thinking about the business part of music
Yeah.
versus the music, bro. But not even in just like contracts or nothing like that. Just like the pacing,
Hmm.
the making sure you gotta do this for. I don't want to seem like that, but I just don't like. I don't like. Sometimes I don't like the pacing of it, and I also don't like that. Um, it's very product. It's like product driven, and less like it's not art. It's not very about the art at all.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not really about like creating something that's gonna stand the test of time, or like that's gonna make the people who this might not hit a billion people, but
Hmm.
the 100,000 people that it hit, it's gonna hit them. It's
Right.
like they gonna stick to it. They gonna stand by it forever. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
it's not really about that no
So
more.
how, because I hear that from a lot of artists, not just you. So how do we fight against that? Because I feel like that the business side is still in the joy away. I feel like, especially with the streaming days now, and how much you have to do on social media, which we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like sometimes that does steal the joy away and stops the artist from being an artist. Um, so I'm not saying that you necessarily have the
Yep.
answers right now,
Yeah.
but just as far as like, do you
How do
have
you
any
fight
thoughts
against
of
it?
how to fight against it?
Um, create more tangible things. Create more things that people can actually touch. You know what I'm saying? That like I know they could do away with. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the streaming platforms, bro. I don't understand. First, it's a whole bunch of gripes I got. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? But
Hey, talk to me.
like,
We got
okay,
we got time.
okay, I don't understand you telling me how much I can sell my product for.
Hmm.
I don't understand the fact that somebody. I don't even understand this from a consumer standpoint. I still buy music. I still purchase music. I go to
Really?
iTunes and
I
purchase
was about to say you
music.
go to iTunes and
I go to the store and buy CDs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I bought a CD player and to buy CDs to be
yeah.
able to have my product. You know what I'm saying? Be able to have what I want to listen to. And the reason why the reason why I feel like this is because one, I don't believe in the internet forever, bro. I don't believe in anything lasts forever. I think that is life and death is one thing. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And that's in everything. Everything has to live. Everything that
Yeah.
lives has to die.
Yeah.
So the internet will come to an end one day. And what happens to all of that shit I got? And then it
You want
feel
it
like,
in your
you
hand.
know what
You
I'm
want to be able
saying?
to
What
see
happens
it,
to
feel it.
all of them 1099s a month? You
Yeah.
feel me? Like, and then I also don't think that it's fair to the customer because it's like you're spending 1099 a month to listen to 8 songs when you can spend $8 and buy those 8 songs, add make your own playlist. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel what I'm saying? Like,
You lost me at the end there because I'm spending that monthly amount and I'm getting to listen to a million songs. I think it's unfair to the customer for absolutely a
right?
1000%. And I praise you for the fact that you're willing to still buy albums.
Yeah.
I know real music heads, and I call myself one, but I'm not that much of a music head.
I'm
I'm
not
just
buying it.
'cause
No.
but I think that is very noble of you to recognize how unfair it is and to say, okay, well, I'm not going to contribute to the unfairness.
How many songs
Uh,
have you listened to this? Let's just say this month. You
I
said
listen to music all day, every day.
okay.
I,
How many different songs have you listened to this month? Songs that you have never listened to before this month.
I'll say 200.
God damn!
I'm listening to a lot of music.
God damn!
That's why we here.
Hey, brother, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. I'm listening to. Look,
Hey, bro, I listen to. Okay, maybe I was wrong because I don't listen to.
yeah.
Honestly, I don't. I rarely even listen to music. I'm most of the time, if I'm not jamming my favorite albums or I just found this new artist from watching a YouTube on watching a
Mhm.
video on YouTube. Okay, I fuck with that video on
Right,
YouTube.
right.
All right, bet. So now I'm finna go. I'm gonna purchase that song because I like that song. I'm
Mhm.
gonna go listen to the catalog. I feel like streaming services should have been like sample like searching through tape deck. I mean, searching through vinyls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I found this song that I like. but now you buy the vinyl. You know what I'm saying?
You know
Like,
what? I'm not mad at that because so when I just said that number, so when I'm listening to music, I'm a dumpster diver like on Spotify.
yeah,
So I'm listening to a lot of different music, but I'm listening to 20 seconds and I'm moving on. And then when I find a song I really like, I'm either putting it in a bucket or I'm putting it directly on a playlist
right,
or I'm going to that artist and I'm downloading their album. So
right,
I do like that idea of let it be you can listen to everything but just a sample. And if
yeah,
you want more, you got to buy more so the artist can actually get more value from your
for
listening.
sure. Like, and they don't understand. Rappers be broke.
Yeah.
Musicians be out here
Hmm.
broke, gang. This
The
is
vast
not
majority.
most of them. Most of them. That's why I be telling people. People be thinking that I was on the phone with my pops. He was like, "Bro, I seen your video on TV." Like,
Yeah, yeah.
he was like, "Bro, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Daddy, that's cool, but I gotta go to work."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's what's up. I gotta get up and go to work tomorrow though. Like,
Hmm.
I'm tired. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like we ain't like if I don't have no job, I don't provide for myself.
Yeah.
If I don't, of course I'm a hustler. Like that's just natural. I'm a hustler, but
Hmm.
it's just like, bro, this music from the money I made from music versus the money I've put into music, it makes no sense to a real businessman to keep making music.
Hmm. Yeah. I agree with that, and that's sad, but that's the truth. I think on one side it's that way because there's so many people making music and it's so easy to put music out.
Yeah,
So it's oversaturated in a sense. As a music lover, I love it and I don't care
not for
because
sure,
I love how much different music that I get to hear on a
for
daily
sure. Yeah,
basis.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Now it's just about okay, if you're good at music, which you are, how can you now monetize that and make it a business?
Right.
And I feel like one of the ways, really the only way to do that is to get money from your fans. Now, how do you get fans that are going to invest in you? And I feel like that route is kind of done through social media these days,
These days, yeah.
of getting the followers, getting people on the email list, and
It's building community.
building that community.
Yeah.
So is that something that you're kind of looking to do as far as
That's
kind
the
of building
point
that
of
community?
that's the point of like art exhibits and you know well I don't want to say art exhibit because it's not art, it's just photo exhibits and like that's the point of me like wanting to start the pop-ups back up or
Hmm.
wanting to like I don't know, like that. I think that was the point of me saying, okay, I want to make a soundtrack instead of making it an album and then just focusing on the music. And then I just make videos and then drop
Hmm.
that and then hope or just then send it out to playlists and send it out to bloggers. Like, bro, that's one thing. But now I create a community that I can take with me everywhere. You feel me? Like
Hmm.
I can go from Houston photo exhibit to Baltimore photo exhibit
Yeah.
to Atlanta. Okay, like okay, I see these people listening over here. Like
Hmm.
I'm gonna go over there and just do a little smaller pop up. We gonna see how that go.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like it's much easier to do that. And then I mean not easier. Of course it's not easier,
Right. Nothing's easy.
but
That's
yeah,
work.
nothing is easy. It's work. You know what I'm saying? But I can see my community. I can feel my community. I can attach to my. You see me face to face. You get to have a conversation with me. You know, he a cool nigga. You
Right.
feel
Right.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, oh yeah, like da da da. Like I get to when you get to do stuff like that. It's like okay,
Hmm.
like that's what this about. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like.